Hi, it's Kalsa for our little ball of mud. Back again for the next episode. This is going to be a wild one. I have this friend that I've known for umpteen years, and I've been up to his land. My dogs have confronted his javelinas. Spark it. And since we started this show, I've definitely had Gary in mind right from the very beginning because of his grasp on retirement, which is unusual and dynamic. Gary was a scientist that worked for Motorola and was very instrumental in the designing and implementation of the
computer chips
and that run your world today. And then Motorola went
they started selling off their divisions. That was their big mistake, you know.
Oh,
they were in trouble money-wise.
They were trying to branch out.
Well,
and get more income.
let's get rid of it. But that was real. I knew it was a bad mistake at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Gary Ehlenberger. We're doing this even in COVID. Screw them. We've both been vaccinated, so.
Yeah, we got our microchips in us.
We have our microchips in us, and we can be tracked. Well, following up with Tommy Chong, I mean, this is a perfect.
I watched that, by the way. I enjoyed
segue
that.
into that.
It. Yeah.
Oh, did you? You
Yes.
watched it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's looking good.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
liked his
He's
attitude.
83. How old are you?
82.
You're 82 and I'm 81.
Yeah.
So, boy, we're getting up there. And so we're all going to get up there. You know, this is one of the points about this show is that we're all heading in that direction at some point in our life. And the quicker that we can follow what's on here, know why you're here or you're just paying bills, the quicker you will start to adjust to the fact that the passing can be just as exciting as the entry.
Yeah, I being a scientist, mathematician, I look at stuff in a four-dimensional four-dimensional way, and an Einsteinian block universe way, which is the whole thing from beginning to end, whatever that is that. So your four-dimensional image would be from your birth to your death, and when you take a time slice, it will be a 3D sequence as you grew older from birth to death, Anyway, that's the way I look at it. So it's a mathematical object, and I can handle that.
Albert Einstein is the perfect guy to quote. He said, stay away from people that are ignorant, because they'll be arguing right in the midst of, the solution. And it's a joy to be here because this is Sedona, and Sedona is famous for the red rocks, and you live right in the midst of it.
Yeah, we live right on top of a vortex.
You do?
In the mountain there.
What would you say is the single most vital thing that you can share with our audience about coming into that time of your life where, that last breath could be any time, and how to continue on a positive path? What keeps you on that positive path?
Okay. The main thing and good advice for probably everyone is to be really present with whatever you do, and being in the moment. You are present in the moment when you're doing a negative thought. You're just watching the thing and then creating negative energy because it's freaking you out, and you're a worry thing. It's like a whirlpool of worry. And so if you focus on that, it brings your energy down, and stress chemicals go out. So you need to let go of those kinds of things and be present. The best way for making your presence happen is take a nature walk and just immerse yourself. Let the mind chatter kind of, okay, just look at stuff, and appreciate, and then things start shifting. They start shifting.
It's great stuff, man. It's great. It reminds me of the book Be Here Now. Remember that book by...
Yeah, I've got a couple of copies. One on my property and one here.
Richard Alpert
Yeah.
became
Ram Dass.
Ram Dass.
Mm-hmm.
And he had, if you haven't read that book, go to the library. They'll have copies there, and you can probably get them online, I would think. Be Here Now.
It's a work of art too, that book. A lot of beautiful things in that book.
It raises your consciousness.
Oh yeah.
That's why I did this. I would put this on the blackboard of my domestic violence and anger management groups, so that when they came into the room, and it was court appointed, so they're already like, bleh. And when they come into the room and they see this,
where are you?
Yeah, be here.
On the little ball of
We're
mud.
on a little ball of mud, rocketing through space. What's our total speed approximately that each one of us is going about right now?
I forget what. I know maybe our solar system.
It's thousands of miles an
Well,
hour.
12 miles a second. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of, whatever it is. But there's all kinds of stuff moving around like that. There's some stuff moving really fast, and those are very interesting things that the astronomers like to see. Kind of rogue stuff.
Neutrinos, kind of thing.
No, I'm talking even large bodies. They found some, and where did you get the energy to accelerate it like that? Of course, they're doing all kinds of things now with all the new instruments, and they can look at gravitational wave pulses and black holes devouring neutron stars, and there's like a quake of gravity waves generated, and they pick those up. That's very interesting. And that also corresponds to Einstein's perspective and makes his theory even more correct.
E equals mc squared?
Well, not that, but his general relative, all of this stuff.
Relative.
Yeah, your relativity stuff. Yeah.
Speak about your diet. What keeps you? He's slim, but he's not weak slim.
No, I climb. Well, there's a 1,800-foot mountain there, and I climb that. But I do a 500 feet almost vertical to get my arms going, and I also bushwhack. So I'm in really good shape. A lot of people don't like to go hiking with me. I have to make sure they're in good shape, otherwise
You'll be carrying them out.
Yeah, it's not good. I've had to almost
or dragging them out.
Yeah. So anyway, I eat. You don't have to eat all food organic, but a lot of thin skinned berries and things like that. I stick to that. It's good for the farmers, and whatever. And because big agriculture doesn't they don't take care of the land as a smaller farmer would, So for that reason. Plus, rotate your poisons, which is a lot of times we're addicted to certain foods. Maybe
coffee.
Well, too much.
Too much
I'm a coffee addict.
Okay.
It gets me going.
Okay.
But you don't overdo it. Moderation and basically exercise, eat well, reduce your stress chemicals that you are self-generate by worrying and going into negative thought loops and all that kind of stuff. And if you can't fix the problem in 5 minutes, drop it. Write it down for something else to do later.
Right.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah.
I want to take just a second to thank our camera person, Maggie. Yay. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Gary has an attachment to the Aborigines in Australia. And he has carried that attachment to some realistic expressions that are phenomenal. And I'm going to take a break right now for a word from our sponsors, wherever you are, the multitudes. And we're going to be right back and show you one of the expressions of his attachment with the Aborigines of Australia. Okay? Thank you, man. Oh.
Now do the other one. That's beautiful.
Let me warm this one up a little bit.
Now, this is a whole different wood, right?
Yeah, this is from, actually it's a, this came from Hawaii, and I forget what kind of wood, it was, I forget what kind of wood it was, but I got another one that, let's see.
It was already made into a didgeridoo when you bought it, though, right?
Oh, this one is where they split them and hollow them out, and they couldn't have been able to, hollow them like that.
They have to split it.
Yeah, these are the split versions.
Wow.
Yeah, they got real good at making them, and when you do that, you can, if you know what you're doing, you can design the sound characteristics of them, and then they glue them back together, and anyway, that's what this is.
So you learned how to do this. What do they call it? Reverse. Circular breathing.
Yeah, the vacuum cleaner hose when I first started. Yeah. But then I bought this guy from Melbourne. He was in town in Phoenix and going to the parties, and I bought one of his skinny. I have that one out in the garage. It's kind of not any good anymore. But anyway, that was my first didgeridoo.
Wow.
And I hung around. I didn't know nobody was playing didgeridoo, so I hung around for about 10 years, and I met this guy in Tucson that brought me to the next level. I have a few of his didgeridoos. And then I went didgeridoo crazy and buying didgeridoos. And
Have you ever been to Australia?
no, I used to go to the over in California. There was a really that was a really good didgeridoo thing.
A community?
Well, it was
players
in, what's the name of that place? It's on the way to LA, but it's, I forget the name of it. But they had, they still have concerts there and stuff. Can't remember the name of it, but they used to have the didgeridoo people, and of course drummers would come. And I got a bunch of didgeridoos there because everybody, they were selling stuff and everything.
Do you have occasion to play here?
I play every week,
Every week with that group of
yeah, I've taught him how. He's a
folk.
drummer, and he's got a whole bunch of crystal bowls. He's got all kinds of stuff. He's got a lot of toys in his house,
Yeah.
So anyway, he and I, play, and then we have Barbie that plays these harp things that I play. I bought one of her harp. She makes them. So anyway, we have fun,
Okay. Well, yeah, play this one. Let's hear it.
Anyway.
Nice. Thank you. Have a seat. Have a seat.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Did you do that? Or? Oh, okay. I thought that was my practice, but I
No.
made a mistake when playing that.
Well,
I'm
I
just
couldn't
probably-
tell.
well, don't ever do it again.
Oh, no. let me do something here first. It's starting to cook today, so I'm turning it down. Let me put these.
It's getting warmer, you
Yeah.
mean?
Well, when that happens, it starts. More humidity starts coming out because and then the ocean, all that stuff.
Right.
And we have some chance of rain toward the end of the week or something. Luckily, we got about 5 inches so far this summer during rain, which is good. We were in a really bad drought, like most everybody else.
Okay. Can you see us both? Okay. Are you ready? Are you on? Oh, we're on. Hi. You have your own YouTube show, right? I want to plug that.
Well, not a show.
Well,
but
what can they do? How can they go and see some more of Gary Ehlenberger?
Radiant Being misspelled.
R-A-D-I-E-N-T.
B-E-I-N-G. I misspelled
Being.
this how I got it.
Okay, because Radiant Being was probably already used.
Yeah, so anyway, I got that one.
Right. And what do you do on that show?
I just put some of my videos on there and stuff, and basically that's what I do.
So some of your hiking videos?
Hiking, maybe flutes and playing and things like that. I put stuff on. Also I put some cartoon things that I wrote the verbiage for, and these two things that talk to each other. Two humans talk to each other, and I did a couple of those.
I want to see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to go on and see that. That sounds good. All right, so how does the situation in the world affecting you today? How are you feeling about it all?
Well,
up
I
here in
try,
Sedona?
I look at it and I say, well, what a mess we made, but I don't indulge into, to where I try to not make it affect me, and produce the negative chemicals.
Mhm.
You can't
Okay,
do that,
okay.
right? Otherwise you obsess about stuff.
Mhm.
And I have, this is a politically divided world now. So in a sense, that's, I have in my own family, I have that kind of stuff,
Mhm, mhm.
but I just don't talk. It's kind of like a religion. You don't talk.
Mhm.
If you can't change their mind about it with logical discussion,
Mhm.
well, don't talk about something else.
Mhm.
That's what I do.
Don't try to force it
No.
on.
I just it just agitates things. It's not
Mhm.
good.
And drives whatever love is there away.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah.
Mhm. No, it's not.
Indulge in the stuff they like to do. That's what I like to do, is support
That you
people and
still
what they
have
like.
good times doing
Yeah,
with that
yeah.
person.
Yeah. And you can always find something that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Hmm.
Good advice, folks. This is a really tumultuous time, and I know we're all kind of concerned.
Yeah.
And so those are your words of wisdom for the humans out there.
Yeah. I am concerned about the disappearance of insects. I'm researching that here in Sedona and stuff. I'm not seeing as many. Of course, when the insects go, the birds go, the lizards are down.
The manatees don't get to eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Manatees, I mean.
Well, if they disappeared altogether, we'd be in serious trouble. I mean, that's the food source for a lot of stuff that goes up the chain. Yeah. We have some hard lessons to learn, but you know, I'm not in the long run. Everything's going to be okay, even if it's the cockroaches and ants that inherit the earth. It's just the way it is.
The things that you want to, keep out of your kitchen and that you freak out over.
Well, I don't freak out over.
Well,
them.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
I've seen people freak out
Oh, yeah.
over them, and yet thank you, Maggie. And but without them, we wouldn't be here.
That's true.
We wouldn't exist. Every little creature has a place.
They all have their job.
They all have their
Right.
job on this little ball of mud, and we're all together here. The colors of all of our skin is simply because of the different areas of the planet that we lived in and moved to back in the day. So, and I think we all came from Africa, so chill out.
We're all Africans.
Yeah, and underneath the skin, everything runs red.
Yeah.
So, it's all, look at the oneness of us instead of the diversity of us. It's a lot healthier way to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
It keeps you more positive when you can see the unity, how we are similar. Yeah,
Well, one thing
we got
about
up on that.
oneness, there's a mystic problem it's been around for a long time. The one many problem.
The GOD
Well, no,
problem?
it can go into that, but the
Okay.
one many, the many, whatever. Let's say in numbers, we just count and count and count and count, and we stop. You can always add one, or so the many can keep going, but we can sum it all up as a one. It's like all in the same bag, so to speak. So we got the bag, right? All the stuff, all the life on the earth. When we take a zoom out, it's all there. Whereas when we're in the microcosm, we're looking at the insects, or the atoms, or cells, or whatever.
And
with
it's
our
all
mi-
made of cells.
Yeah. And so
Everything.
it's the one many,
Mhm.
and it's a mystical problem. And I go to the many. I go to infinity land. I've taken up surreal numbers, which allows one to look at completed infinities and manipulate them in an almost like arithmetic way, and have strange relationships with all the different types of different levels of infinity are out there. And of course, most people, that's out in the cloud, but
He's a scientist.
but it's something that
It's
mathematicians
true.
are getting their PhDs on and developing and doing all that stuff, and they're having fun in their little world,
Well, when you start going into the real makeup of our universe, it's kind of mind-blowing. What keeps us all separate? What keeps the table separate from us? If we're all atomic structures.
Yeah, I look at it as each person or insect or whatever, virus, bacteria, whatever, animal, whatever, they're all kind of, if we are really all connected, you can look at it as one consciousness running the show, so to speak, but the individual filters so it doesn't take up the, doesn't resonate with all, although in telepathic sense, sometimes we do resonate.
We want to.
We get entangled. No, sometimes we do entangled.
Yeah.
We're on the same
Wavelength.
Yeah. So that happens, as I mean, it happens to everybody. But there's a quantum physics, this guy, Ludwig Bass, a student of Schrodinger, one of the founders of quantum physics. He wrote a paper and said, well, if you assume that quantum physics is true or close to true, and you assume that the brain, the way we process information goes through us, the way you understand that, and you assume there's more than one consciousness, because of the weirdness of quantum physics, you have to throw out one of those three things. Throw out throw out there's more than one consciousness, which would say there's one consciousness, and that's what he decided to do in his paper he wrote. So I always go back to that paper, and nobody really knows anything, but I do think about that, and it makes it. I can work it out mathematically, so it works. But who knows anything anyway?
Okay, we're going to take a little trip.
Okay.
Visually around this room, and I want to do that because it will show us kind of where you're placing your consciousness at different times.
Yeah, this layout primarily was
Off. Okay, so we are going on a little journey here to look around at Gary's place, and I'm doing the camera work, and Gary's going to kind of explain what you have certain areas. Describe them.
Well, Christina, who was my partner, she died in 2014, and she did all this stuff. So yeah, so I can look at these things, and I can remember, and I also see something in the way her brain works and understand her. So that's why I like the arrangements.
Okay, so this is the pottery area. Different things, little bitty things. Nice. Okay. And this area over here on this wall?
Yeah, that's a Hopi Indian painting. Some other. Most of these were friends or acquaintances that we got this from.
So all kinds of Native American, mystical, Aztecan, I see. Wonderful things happening all around. In Peru, they're finding another area. Have you heard of that, Gary?
No.
That makes what's the
Machu
Picchu
oh, really?
look small.
Huh,
Yeah. Okay, so this is definitely I see one of my some of my favorite people over here. It's Jesus. Oh man, that's so beautiful. Didgeridoos everywhere. Musical instruments.
Those are tuba throat singer instruments. They used to come here and they gave those.
You know people that play those?
Yeah, they used to come here every year, and I think about 2 or 3 years ago was the last time they came. 'Cause after the COVID, they didn't come.
And there's your sword to keep yourself protected. That's a lovely piece.
Yeah, that one over there is Carl's.
This
too.
is Carl Helbing's painting. A deceased friend of ours who's, I'm sure, looking down on this and going, "Oh, you guys, thank you. We miss you, brother." So this is all about your eastern wall. The Buddhist colors.
That's the Buddha, Tibetan Buddhist stuff on the right.
I'm trying to block out the sun.
This fixed my back. I don't have to use it for hardly any at all.
Wow.
This is Gary's wonderful collection. I'm not shooting the bed of didgeridoos, this guy. To a novice, that didgeridoo sounded like a concert. You know, because we're watching how you do the breath, how you're holding your mouth. I mean, it's an intense experience, isn't it? And it's a full body kind of thing.
Yeah, it really is good for the breath. And it's also good for sleep apnea, which I used to have, you know,
Wow,
and I don't have it anymore, so that's good.
fix that.
Yeah,
Gary, thank you.
okay.
Thanks
thank
for
you.
having
Thank
us,
you.
and we're gonna have all the folks go take a look at your site again.
Radiant Being, misspelled. I-E-N-T.
I-E-N-T.
B-I-N-G.
Being
B-E-I-N-G. All one word, yeah.
on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And I want to present to you your own shirt.
Well, thank you.
Now this is kind of large, so you're going to want to, maybe trim it down.
Well, I don't care if that's all right.
I have on that same shirt right
Oh,
here.
really?
And this
Yeah,
is
it'll
what it
work.
looks
It'll
like.
Same
work.
size.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wear it everywhere, never take it off. But you can wash this. It is. It's printed with silk screen, so you can wash it and do anything with it. The
Okay.
other process, you have to take very careful care how you wash it.
Yeah.
But thank you
Yeah.
for having us,
Yeah.
and bless you for everything you're doing for the humans. A lot of the things that you're doing is on another plane, to help us all to get through this period of time in a positive way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, folks. Thank you for watching, and be sure and tune in. Be sure and join us. Subscribe? Is that the word? Yeah. Subscribe and tell your friends. Pass it around. And peace.